Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Should Have Recorded That with Phil and
Adam,
Hey, Adam.
Phil,
Monica.
and Monica's here. Well, we're going to get there in just a second, but first I need to ask about whether Phil is okay.
I am okay. I
Phil, you
am.
look sweaty.
Thank you for pointing that out. I hope people didn't notice.
Rest, child. A day of rest.
I am on location. I have a concert in about, or I have a concert in about 2.5 hours, but I have to be on stage in about an hour and 45 minutes to prepare for that. So,
All right. Well, dear audience, then you know this episode will be 45 minutes maximum. Phil, what do we need to know before we get into our conversation with Monica?
if you are enjoying our conversations, please like and subscribe. That's really all you need to know. I have one quick comment that Basha commented on our episode with Mike and said she loved it on YouTube. People are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, and so if you are enjoying the conversations, please be a part of it. That's what this is about. So.
Yes. I love it. Please be a part of it.
Yes.
I don't have anything else for the good of the order. So shall we dive in?
Let's dive in.
We have with us today none other than Monica Ely.
Hey, Monica.
Hi.
So
Hi, Phil. How are y'all doing? Good.
great, thanks. So Phil, how do you know Monica? And then I'll tell our audience how I know her.
So I'm be honest, I don't know if I could say that I do know Monica very well because it's funny, like we've been to two of the same schools, right? Like you were at Faulkner State, I eventually got there, and then I came to Delta State, and I think we've at least had a conversation at some point, but I don't know how well I will say I know Monica. I'm hoping to get to know her better in this episode.
Absolutely, I love that. But you missed each other at two different institutions.
Right.
Wow. And I know Monica because Monica was a senior at Delta State my first year at Delta State. And I still tell people that the reason I survived that first year was because of this stupendous student who was the president of the chorale and was a total initiative taker, go-getter, with lots of ambition and talent and common sense and intelligence. And the person I'm talking about when I say those things is Monica Ely.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Well, it is the truth, Monica. Well, anyway, you know about yourself, I hope, that you are a bright light in the lives of so many people. So let's talk about what you've been up to since leaving Delta State. You graduate from Delta State with a degree in vocal performance, and what comes next?
What comes next is I go to Eastern Michigan to study with your advisor, Brandon Johnson, who is a saint among men, one of the most calm-spirited individuals, and yet also incredibly empathetic. And he pushed me in ways that I didn't know that I needed to be pushed. And I think I my personality being what it is, I pushed him also, whether he wanted it or not.
You're good at that.
Yeah, it's a trick. And then during the summertime when I was at Eastern, I studied, I would travel to Utah to study vocology with Ingo Tietze and Lynn Maxfield and a bunch of other voice science people to do like Summer Vocology Institute. And then I graduated grad school, and I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do now? What is this? I was fortunate enough to have some relationships with some performance organizations. So I was like gigging regularly, and I had good jobs teaching and performing a lot. So that's really what I have been up to until COVID hit, when I moved down to Houston, Texas.
And what are you doing in Houston?
I am teaching preschool music.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's metal.
Amazing. Wait, what did you say it is?
I said it's metal.
Metal.
Yeah, it's
What?
metal. Preschool music is metal. Preschoolers are metal. Oh my gosh.
But like, so I feel like I can deduce what that means, but when we come to the verbiage of the youth, I
It's
am
older than
I'm frequently wrong about. So if it's metal, does that mean it is hard?
it is emotionally engaging and emotionally taxing and rewarding and um, insane. And sometimes I say things or I see things and I think to myself, like, I never thought that those words would come out of my mouth. But alas, today, on a Monday, here we are. No, you can't
Yes.
take your butt. That's weird. Stop. Um, but I think from like a voice perspective, I think as a voice scientist and someone who really, I love efficiency. I don't know if you get to see that about me at Delta State, but I'm an efficiency junkie. Finding the most efficient way to complete a task and then executing it uh, is just my like nom 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 nom. And so getting them when they're this young and helping them develop foundational voice habits, going from nonverbal to verbal, and finding a way to present that information in a way that is palatable to a 7-month-old who is nonverbal, or a 9-month-old, or a 10-month-old. It's a fun challenge. It's something I'm enjoying more than I thought I would.
That's
Monica,
awesome.
like I'm sorry, Adam. I always say this, but like, wow, like right now, I mean, so are you telling me you're teaching music to 7-month-old students? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah, and the curriculum I'm developing is based off of like conscious discipline and implementing a lot of those, like the strategies within that. And Frog Street, I don't really do a lot of that, but also foundational voice development for young children.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That's amazing. And beginning as you literally beginning as early as 7 months old.
Younger, yeah.
Even
Younger
young.
than
Wow. Okay,
way
what
Wow.
does
Yeah.
way before verbal.
right? So, okay,
Wow.
what is the youngest infant that you are working with?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Wow.
And what kinds of activities do you do with a 3-month-old baby?
So for a 3-month-old, we do a lot of attachment, forming an attachment. So developing a secure attachment with your caregiver and with me, so that we can communicate with each other. Right now, I'm learning how you communicate, what are your signs, and then also what I can do to communicate with you. What that looks like is modeling. I do a lot of funny mouth noises, like the SOVT. So we're all posturing the vocal cords in a way that is optimal for healthy production. And after a while, they will start modeling, and you find that after, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, they will start to model the behavior and they'll start to do it themselves. And then you make it funny and you make it fun and I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love my whole world is expanding. I love
I,
this.
really, this is because I mean, Monica, I don't know if you've listened, how much you've listened to us, but I've talked about, that I just had a daughter in June, and so she is coming up on 6 months, and so a lot of the things you're talking about, I'm kind of experiencing, and I think like being a teacher is helped me to be more aware of just her, and like and seeing her, like I remember the first time I went to feed her and she started reaching for her bottle, you know, and so like here talking to you, I'm even more like, okay, I need to be making sure I'm, like you said, the modeling, and of course she knows who we are. She knows I'm her dad. She knows her mom. She knows the people who care for her. And I think she started doing my my mother-in-law started lip buzzing with her, and of course she didn't know what she was doing. She was just making noise, my mother-in-law. But of course, my daughter started doing it, and so wow, yeah, this is very interesting.
Yeah, that it's fascinating to me in particular, and I bet you're seeing this too. The babies are communicating. They are
Yeah.
communicating, not doing it verbally.
Hmm.
So as a teacher, it's a challenge. It is an opportunity to see how they are communicating and to bring yourself to their level, to bring yourself to
Right.
them as a student. And then like for the lip buzzing, doing that, and then like ba ba ba, modeling that ba ba ba. That the chords
Uh-huh.
are,
You're
and
right.
you know they work.
Right. And I mean, this is gonna sound crazy. And it is crazy, maybe. But I like when she was younger, I would kind of wait, like I would wait when I noticed she was getting a little agitated. I wanted to hear her cry because I'm like, I want to make sure her voice is working. And it is it's so crazy. It sounds crazy. But I wanted to I'm like, I want to hear your voice. And people are telling me at some point you're gonna be like, I wish you would stop talking. But
Like, please stop.
but Well, this is very interesting. This is very. Can we back up one really quick though? Because I was really looking forward to kind of hearing again. Like I missed you at two institutions, at Faulkner State, which is now I think Coastal College or Coastal something, and at Delta State. Like how did you go? Maybe and we're from the same city, so like you're from Mobile, I'm from Mobile. You ended up at Faulkner. I eventually ended up there, and you're actually the reason why I even considered Delta State. So
I
can
remember
we kind of
a tour of the BPAC.
say it again?
I gave you a tour of the BPAC. I remember that the day that
You
you visited.
did?
I did. I
even,
really short
even
my
I remember that, Phil.
gosh, Phil, you don't remember? Oh my god.
No, I remember. So I remember, like now that you say that, I remember taking the tour, but that day was like such a rush. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all were getting ready for Carmina Burana. I think you were like, Adam, you were like spitting, Italian at them. And so like they're, having them echo it back because you're getting ready for the show. So I'm sitting in the bass section, just like spitting back these words. I don't know what these sounds. It was just
oh,
But
oh.
wow, okay. I mean, like you're helping me connect like even me, I'm an old man, but you're being such a good teacher and helping me connect my memories, you know? So anyway,
So, Monica, how did you? What was your path from Mobile, Alabama, to Cleveland, Mississippi?
Um, the voice teacher I was with at Faulkner, David Ayers. I'm sure you know David Ayers, Phil.
mhm.
Um, He put me in contact with Michelle Buchanan. Oh my God, Mary Lynn Buchanan. Oh my God, edit that out or she is going to come find me. Marilyn Buchanan. So I was the first person in my family to go to college.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And so David Ayers sat down with me and said, after a year, he said, you do not need to be here. You need to leave. You need to go somewhere else. This is Mary Lynn Buchanan. He sat down, he filled out the application with me. He did all of this asking for nothing. And
Yes. Yes.
he sent me to Delta State and was like, you will do well here. You do not need to be adult at Faulkner anymore. You need to go somewhere else and do something else. So, and, that's how I got to Delta State, Sunflower Lane, Grumpy Castle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Wow. That, I mean, that sounds so much like Mr. As David As, because he was so helpful to me as well. I mean, like apart from, being a great teacher, I think he helped to, giving me the space to teach. I mean, I came as an older student, and so giving me the space to kind of help the choirs and those type of things, and then encouraging me as I was looking. I'm like, I've been here, I went there, and he's like, you know what, you should consider Delta State, because I think, oh yeah, there's another connection. I forget the voice teacher's name. Um, that was there. Adam, you know him because he
Chad,
was.
Chad Payton.
Chad,
Mm-hmm.
ye old
Mm-hmm.
Chad.
Yes, and so yeah, Dr. Chad, he was saying, that I know this voice professor. I think the choir director there is great, and yeah, and I've stayed kind of in contact with him, but like you just said, it's just out of his heart. I mean, I'm so blessed that I've had teachers like that. So yeah, that's a great story.
I love it. I love that about David Ayers and Mr. Ayers. And that I think he really does have a very kind heart. And I also think he is one of the funniest people to ever exist. Like, he will go into a room with just like the straightest face ever and drop the biggest piece of sass ever. After my audition at Delta State, we were in New Orleans doing a tour, and then afterwards, so I got to New Orleans late, and all of the choir, they were doing, probably sinning, and, and I talked to Mary Lynn Buchanan, and I can't tell you, and I was like, okay, yes, you can. He's a very funny person, and he has such a big personality, and I think his charisma makes him like people want to be around him. People want to talk to him. That's why he has friends all over, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes.
So, Monica, what would you say? Obviously, you took music classes, got a degree, but what are the biggest lessons you learned during your time at Delta State?
I want to form this in the most palatable way possible.
Oh, palatable.
Yeah, I want it to be like you're not cool. Being cool is not cool. You're not cool. Also, by the way, you're not cool. And being cool is not cool. And so if you keep wanting to do that,
Yes.
you're not going to do anything. So just stop and be whoever you are. And that's perfectly, whoever you are is completely okay. And do that. Whoever you are is completely okay, unless you're trying to be cool. And then stop, because it's be the most, be extra, be extra.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I feel validated.
Thank you.
No, but I would even say though, I think like really the people that we want to know, the people who are cool, are those who are like being the most. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They're sold out for it.
yeah, So, and I like, wow, I mean, I think that's still like a lifelong lesson though. I mean, because,
Mm.
man, I think we're still faced with these, different. um, different type of challenges, maybe in different ways. As you get older, as you go through different phases of life, like there's still these ways that life wants to pull us, or people. You don't want to seem a little further out than everyone else. But wow, that's a great lesson.
You still feel that, Phil?
I mean, like you recognize it,
Right.
like now as a teenager or even as a college student, maybe you didn't recognize the pull to kind of just
Mm-hmm.
get in line.
Yeah.
But like as an adult, like you can recognize it and say, okay, no, I'm not gonna go this way, or I'm not going to, I'm gonna be myself, like you said.
Yes. I've just stopped. I I used to be such an insecure kid. Like,
Hmm.
and now I'm just like, yeah, I'm probably not everyone is gonna like this like weird awkwardness. But I own my weird awkwardness and I'm not gonna apologize for it, and I'm just gonna be me.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Monica, I love that you learned that lesson. I think that is an incredibly valuable lesson to learn. What would you say? What would you say are some of the other key lessons that you've learned at other times in your life? I'm just searching for wisdom because you've always
Mhm.
been so wise beyond your years, and whatever you say, I'll just go out and do.
Oh, uh, um, pieces of wisdom that have been helpful. Let me think. I like know who's in the room with you if you can.
Mmm.
One,
Yes.
everyone has a website. You can Google anybody. You're going somewhere and people are gonna take 4 minutes on the whatever ride there and just like read about them, so that you're able to connect. We're in the business of music, sure, but ultimately we're in the business of people and we're in the business of connection.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
and so, in order to connect with people, you have to know them, and in order to get to know somebody, you have to be willing to let them get to know you. But so know who's in the room with you, and think about well, something I do is I think about who is the friends that I have that dresses the nicest all the time, and then I do 15% less than that. Like less than the nicest dressed person I know, because I want to be relatable. And what is that funny?
That's the best advice I've ever gotten in my entire life.
What'd you say?
That's the best advice I've ever gotten in my entire life.
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean,
uh,
yeah, that is such good advice. I'm sorry. I'm like, I think you're very serious and very sincere, but I was just thinking about, like, there's a lot of, it seems like a lot of work in that. Like you got to find a person and then think about what's 15% less. Like then what?
I, I know who dresses well. I know my friends who,
Right,
and then
yes.
I'm like, she'd wear this, and then I'm gonna not wear those shoes because I can't rock that, and I'll die if
right,
I.
right, right. That's some
No,
really good
you
advice.
could, Monica, you could pull off anything.
I know, but I would complain the whole time, and I wouldn't be wearing the high heels with the pinky toes that were dead. That wouldn't be not. I would not be a nice. I want to be a friend.
All right. All right. So we've gotten so far. Dear audience, are you here for this? This is amazing, is it not? So we've got don't try to be cool. I think that's amazing advice. We've got try to know the people in the room. That's amazing advice. We've got think of the best dressed person you know and go 15% less. I love that. Keep going, Monica. You're so wise.
Thank you. I think that's peace is
Oh,
contained.
we'll say that again.
peace is contagious.
Yes.
So if you can offer someone peace, and it's a gift, it is a gift and it is contagious. So if you have the bandwidth to lend somebody your peace, do it.
How do you do that?
How do I do that? I mean, we have mirror neurons in our brain, you know? So when people, like, you're standing in front of a choir, you're tense, the choir's tense. It's all mirror neurons. If I am presenting peace, then other people will do that naturally, like science.
How can we become more peaceful inside ourselves?
God, I fight that. That was tough for me.
How have you become more peaceful?
How have I become more peaceful? I feel like anything I say is going to be full of shit because I'm still working on it. It's all going to be like platitudes. I don't know. How do
I get that. It's better. But what you just said, admitting that, is so much healthier than those meaningless platitudes.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what do I do to stay peaceful? Wait, what do I do to what would I say to 3-year-old Monica who was stressing out as I try to do that in my head? I'd be like, baby girl, it's okay. It's okay, baby girl. You're going to be okay. I got you. I think about baby Monica, or really one of the little kids that I work with who's freaking out. Like, baby girl, you need some love. You want a hug? Come here, baby. And just kind of talk to myself in that sweet, compassionate way. I try. I mean, I fail all the time, every day, but I try.
You know some. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Phil.
So I mean, I'm also teaching preschoolers. I'm not teaching 3-month-olds. So I mean, like that. I would have to travel to I believe you said you're in Texas, right? I would have to travel to Texas to kind of get some wisdom on how to do that for students who are nonverbal. But the thing that I am finding too is that in agreement with you that the best way is to try to remain as calm as possible. Because I'm teaching 3-year-olds to fifth graders, and it doesn't matter. Like all of those ages, the best way to try to reach them is to remain calm as possible. To try to, like you said, to be that peace, even when they're misbehaving or when they're confused or whatever. To try to be that peace. That's a really good. It's really good.
Monica, who are some of the people in your life who have brought you to this place? Who are those influential individuals without whom you would not be the person you are today?
Okay, first and foremost, easy question. You, 100% you. It would be, it is the 4-hour sessions we would spend in your office, and you would talk to me about, we would talk about our future, what my future was going to be like, and what grad school was going to be like, and how you went through my resume with me and sat down and just did it for me, and how we would talk about what grad school was going to look like, and living in a new place, and what is moving, and how are you going to conduct. And you did all of these extra things, and you gave me opportunities. And it's not the opportunities, and it's not the things themselves, but it's the fact that when you gave me all of those opportunities, when I had those opportunities, I did not see a shred of doubt in my abilities coming from you. There was never a moment where you were like, I don't know if you were always like, she's got it. She's fine. She's going to be great. This is going to be awesome. Monica, you're going to be great. You can do it. You're a star. You got this. And that helped my self-esteem a lot. Coming from a place that is like, where I'm from, where you're from, where we're from. It was it was refreshing. And to have the letter of recommendation you wrote for me for grad school, I still have it. And there's some times when I still read it to remind myself that you can do this. You got it.
Mm.
You can do this. You can do this. And it is just a reminder to me. So 100% you.
Wow. I just need to pause because thank you. First of all, thank you. That means a lot to me because I'm so proud of you. I'm also just so humbled by that because we only got a year together,
I
right?
know.
Like, I wish I had come earlier, or right. I wish we had gotten more time with one another, and so I'm surprised because I didn't I didn't think I would be on that list. Not because I think like I'm a neglectful educator, but because I just feel like our time together was so limited. So wow, yay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
else?
thank you. Miko Shimizu.
Mm.
One thing did it, and it was after a Nats competition. I worked so hard for that woman, and I wanted praise so badly. And getting praise from her was like very difficult. I don't know if you know
Yes.
this. I love to please. I love to make people happy. But that's not why I was doing it. After I still have the email too. She emailed me. I got second place, and she said, "Monica, I shouldn't do that accent. That's gonna be racist." She said, "You're first place to me."
Oh.
Coming from her is like a golden nugget.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
At Brandon Johnson,
Yeah.
who taught me that, who reminded me over and over and over and over again that he helped me retrain my humor and become a little bit more earnest. He would remind me that like being sarcastic is funny to some, but it's also really mean.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot to like, don't be mean, try to be earnest, to like let people see who I am as an artist, and to say like, you are worthy of this.
Mm.
You're worthy of being an artist. You are worthy of the opportunities you have been given.
Yes. All these are powerful lessons. How do you hope to pass them on?
How do I hope to pass them on? Like verb?
Like, yeah, you are you've already told us a little bit of how you are passing on what you've learned by working with uh, with the population you're working with, and it's incredible, magical work that you're doing. Um, what are your dreams and aspirations for the future?
If you had asked me that 14 months ago or 15 months ago before COVID, I would have had an eloquent, you know, shot into the future of what I would like to look like and what I think I'm going to do and what I'm going to do. And at this point, I think that like my horoscope probably has as good a guess as I do.
Yes, COVID has done that to all of us.
What am I going to do? I'm going to say yes to the things that inspire me, have the potential to inspire me, give me the opportunity to play with my friends, give me the opportunity to make music with meaningful people. I'm going to keep saying and try to enjoy the scenery on the view.
I love that.
Not worry so much about what's at the top of the mountain because I don't know. I'm there, but I know I'm going to have to get up the mountain.
Yes. Yes. Phil, isn't she amazing?
Yes, Monica. I mean, I wish I would have talked to you more during that tour. I'm sure we did have conversations,
That
but
tour that he's completely forgotten.
but
Oh, yeah.
but I mean, I've said this. I think I'm almost said this after each of our conversations, but I really hope one day we can all sit around and without having to look into a screen or wonder
Yes.
about the time, you know,
Yes.
and
We need a reunion for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I'll bring brownies.
Is there a start? See, this is what I wanted to ask before we. This is how we're going to end the podcast. This is how I don't. We don't want to incriminate anybody. Let's not incriminate anybody, Monica. But I want to know, like, maybe do you have? I think you're such a um, you know, effervescent, you know, big personality person. Like, what was the most friendly, funny, crazy thing you've ever done? Like maybe in context of what Delta State or your past
Mm.
few years here, like what was like that was we did that. Like I mean, it was crazy.
Man. Are you asking about something specific?
I said, I don't want to incriminate anybody.
One time, once upon a time, my dear friend, who happened to be just a dear friend, um, mentor at an institution that I attended, may have asked for some brownies. Said they wanted to try some brownies, some space brownies, if you will. And I generously, generously provided. He threw them away. I would have eaten that, by the way. Gotten good sleep too.
I
Mm.
wonder if that person was. Um, yes, I wonder if that person was ready.
I don't think so. Now that afterward, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
glad that didn't happen because you would have done it. No, it would have been a brain space thing for not coolness.
That person might have just needed, yes, yes. So, oh, that poor person really missed out.
Well,
There's
you
always the
know,
next time.
there is. There's always the next time.
All
So
right, because Phil has to go for his concert
yes.
warm up. Monica, we always end our episode with two recurring segments very briefly. The first is current event, something that's in the news, something that's in the headlines, something that's happened in your own life recently. And the second is what did you learn today? So are you game to play along?
Yeah.
Awesome. Phil, how about you go first so that we can show Monica the ropes?
Okay. My current event. I'm sorry, and because I'm traveling. I'm gonna blame it on because I'm not in my normal space. My current event. I was gonna write it down. I forgot, but I'm gonna say this. Um, and related to my father-in-law traveling to Haiti for the funeral, was able to see it yesterday, and so I'm just gonna continue to ask people to think about them and pray for my family, especially for his safe return as whenever he decides. It's been 10 years since at least 10 years since they've been to Haiti, um, and so like him going to bury his mother, I know was very important. And my brother-in-law was sharing with me yesterday. He's so glad he went because he was so worried about whether he should go or not, and so just praying that he comes back safe.
Yeah. Wow. Well, will do, Phil. Thank you. Um, my current event, you know, I'm just gonna, I don't even know. This whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing is uh, like, that's how I feel about it.
See,
Ah,
you just gotta get it.
Phil's talking to someone off camera.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Uh, all I can say about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing is, okay,
The
I'm
what?
done. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh yes, yeah, the verdict. Yeah.
Oh, read a newspaper, Monica.
I'm not going to.
Oh, I wish I could be more like you. I wish I could be more like you.
I'm not going to start watching the news and reading the newspaper until I know all of my neighbors' names.
Wow.
That is
I'm going to start in my bowl before I look
wisdom.
at another.
Wisdom for the ages.
So
I love
also,
that.
is my peace. My peace is fragile. My peace is fragile.
Yes.
I'm not trying to mess my peace up.
Yes. I love that. Monica, what's the current event that's on your mind?
What's a what?
What's the current event that's on your mind?
Current event that is on my mind.
Or go back out. Go back out.
What is a current event that is on my mind? I don't know. Hold on. I've been thinking a lot about the Israel-Palestine things.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I follow pretty severely, pretty intensely. No thoughts, just
No thoughts? Yes.
yeah. But like, just think, pray.
Awesome. Good to know. All right. And now, what did we learn today? I learned. Actually, no. I'm gonna let Phil go first because I feel like he might. I have two what I learned, and maybe if his is one of them, I don't have to say them both.
I'm gonna tell you what I learned and what I want to learn more about. So just your journey to college, and I think it seems like there's so much there more for us to talk about there, and so I just hearing that story, and again the love of Mr. Ash or David Ash. I mean, because I've experienced that myself, and so I could share that bond. And now with knowing Adam, I share that bond with you, and so yeah, I hope to hear more about that. So
Awesome. Two things. That was not one of them. So I will have to give you both of mine. I'll be fast. One, think of the best dressed person you know and go 15% less. Definitely, it's gonna stick with me. Great wisdom. And two, just keep saying yes and enjoy the scenery along the way. Awesome advice.
And I learned that Phil has a baby.
Yes.
Girl, I'm gonna stalk your Facebook after this.
Yes, she's beautiful.
Yeah, and I also learned that I didn't know, Phil, that you were from Mobile as well. So we probably have a bunch of connection. What high school did you go to?
I went to LaFleur.
Okay. Were you into like music stuff?
I was into some of it. I did some of it, but not. I wasn't heavy, like heavy. But I did choir, those type of things. But I think you went to Murphy, right?
I went to Theodore.
Oh wow, okay. You know what, Monica? We have so many connections because my mom's people are from Irvington, Grand Bay. That's
That's
where.
yeah.
Wow.
From
See,
Alabama area, Irvington.
I have my man. We have like we. If I wasn't already at this venue for this concert, I would be like, just forget it. But
All right.
you have to come back.
Dear audience, Phil has a warm-up that he needs to be on stage for in 2 minutes, and wherever he is right now does not look like the place he needs to be. So, Phil, is there anything else for the good of the order?
No, nothing else.
All right, then I will say bye for now.
Adios.
Bye.